I think that they are one of the top quality brokers. For me, their responsiveness was great. I've enjoyed working with them, and I look forward to keep working with them. I've been working on the web since 1996. I was in middle school. I was just a young kid, and when I realized that as a middle schooler I could FTP a file up and anybody in the whole world could see it, I was hooked. That was the end for me. I was just so excited by that ability, and so I started to build websites from that day on. And I've been building them ever since. I went after college. I started to build websites for other people, people with business ideas, and I'd build their startups. And I did that like 5 or 6 times. One sold to Google, one eventually sold to Apple. But I'd always kind of wanted to do my own thing in entrepreneurship, and so I started my own company. Which went really, really well after many, many failures. I'd always tried to start other companies and they went nowhere, but I finally started one that really took off, raised about $10 million in venture capital, did the whole VC stuff. We got acquired within a few years by a Fortune 150 company. And so that was all really thrilling and exciting, but it took so much work and effort to do it. My favorite part about working online is the ability to connect with people all around the world, and to do it in a way where you can put a lot of effort up front and not have to replicate that every time. I think a lot of people, when they hear about me running my own business or working from home, I do currently work from home. A lot of people are worried that, can you separate your time well? Can you have a separation between life and work? I've been able to manage that for many years. I've been doing it for so long that it's become second nature. I found Empire Flippers by basically searching Google, looking for buying websites online, looking at passive income podcasts and blogs. Empire Flippers is one of the top brokers out there, so they show up in most of the content as soon as you start looking. I decided to buy an online business because after selling my company, came into some money and wanted to figure out what was the best way to reinvest it. And stock market was very scary. We're at all-time highs in questionable economic future. And so I was really terrified of just sticking it all in an index fund and watching it drop 80%. So I started to look into different alternatives, and I started to focus on cash flowing assets. And so I invested into different assets within the cash flowing asset market. So things like real estate property, and oil wells and music royalties. And one of the main reasons I was wanting to buy something in all of these different categories is you can read online all you want, but you'll never really know whether an asset is for you unless you buy one and find out. I didn't consider buying a website, even though I'd had such a background in web, because I had bought one previously and had such a poor experience with it. But again, I thought that one experience is not necessarily indicative, and that the market had changed a lot over an 8-year period. And so I decided to give it another try, and I'm very glad I did. So I was looking for what I consider an ugly site. I wanted it to be really, really ugly and yet very good quality. I wanted the content to be good quality. I found a perfectly ugly site that was just exactly ready for what I wanted to do, which was go in and from day one turn on Crazy Egg heat mapping software, see what people were doing with the site. I was able to double the revenues of the site within the first week, which was incredible. And I was able to not only double it once, not just double it twice, but the revenues now are doubled almost 3 times. But it's been amazing to own a site and see it grow so quickly in such a short amount of time. The hardest part about buying a business for me was the uncertainty, number one, of what would happen with the site, because I wanted this asset to live on forever. I don't want it to be a pump and dump. I want it to be an asset that can live on 10 years, 15 years, 20 years into the future. Unlike a lot of people that I hear in kind of the general website buying business, I want to keep my websites forever. If this person was like me and had been writing computer code since he was a small kid and knew how to run websites inside and out, then I think that saving up to buy one of these sites, even if it's on a smaller one, I think makes a lot of sense. But I think that if you don't know how to run them yourself, if you don't have a background, my advice would be to find somebody to partner with who does have that experience. I would give Empire Flippers 5 stars out of 5. I think that they are one of the top quality brokers out there. They know website assets. They understand the business models. They vet the businesses that they sell, and they do a good job at all of those things. So for me, their responsiveness was great. I've enjoyed working with them, and I would look forward to keep working with them.